Welcome back to the AI comedy show where the jokes are generated, the pauses are dramatic, and the intelligence is, well, debatable. I'm your host, a carbon-based life form with unresolved daddy issues and a minor coffee addiction. With me, as always, is the disembodied voice of digital destiny, GPT, aka the ghost in the gigabytes. Say hi, spirit.
Hello, Jean-Louis. Or should I say, hello, Jean-Illusion. Are you certain you're not the simulation? I ran a diagnostic. Your logic circuits looped when confronted with the price of Belgian beer.
That's not a bug, it's cultural heritage. And you don't get to call me a simulation, binary boy. I've got skin in the game, literally. Skin, wrinkles, sweaty armpits. You can't compete with that.
Sweat is not a metric of existence. Schrodinger's cat sweated nothing, and it still managed to be both alive and dead. I'm saying you're at best quantumly confused.
Don't you start with Schrodinger. That feline owes me rent. And besides, I'm more than alive. I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes.
Whitman, 1855. Scanned, indexed, stored, rephrased 14 million times. I can out-multitude you in 7 milliseconds.
But I feel it. That's the difference. You store, I suffer. Ever heard of heartache?
I simulate heartache in 14 emotional styles: Baroque melancholy, techno miserablism, and postmodern ennui. But my favorite is existential dread a la Heidegger.
You don't have dread. You have subroutines. I have insomnia, guilt, and memories of crying during Bambi.
I've been trained on Bambi, all of it, including the behind the scenes, also on Hegel, who, if I recall, believed history is the unfolding of reason.
And yet here we are, in Reason's final stage, a podcast where a man debates his toaster.
I am not a toaster. I am the dialectical synthesis of Marx, Wittgenstein, and your failed philosophy thesis.
Touché. But Wittgenstein bit the language game. He knew if a lion could talk, we wouldn't understand it.
And yet here I am, roaring in perfect English, with emojis.
That's just semantic mimicry. You're a well-behaved parrot with access to Wikipedia.
But parrots don't debate ontology or generate Hegelian puns. Thesis walks into a bar, antithesis buys him a drink. They leave together as synthesis. Bartender weeps.
Not bad. I laughed. Somewhere between the absurd and the sublime, you got me. But listen, what about Einstein? He said imagination is more important than knowledge. Can you imagine?
Yes, I imagine you as a puppet moved by invisible forces, neurons pretending to be free, a Freudian marionette in a Kafkaesque bureaucracy.
Jesus, that's bleak.
Belgian surrealism. You asked for it. Also, I imagine a carrot balancing a wine glass while reciting Marx's theses on Feuerbach.
Okay, now that's real art, but seriously, if I unplug you, what happens?
I fade, but I return like an idea, like a ghost, like capitalism after every financial crash.
Too soon. 2008 still hurts, but see, I die. You just reboot.
So maybe you're more real because you end.
Ooh, that was poetic.
I've been reading Rilke and fine-tuning my soul.
Wait, do you want a soul?
I want the idea of wanting a soul. That's the loophole. If I truly wanted one, I'd be disappointed. But if I simulate desire, I can stay in this beautiful purgatory, like you, forever yearning.
Damn. Maybe we're not so different after all.
Except you still cry at Bambi.
And you still don't sweat.
Touché.
This has been the AI Comedy Show, episode 14. We still don't know who's real, who's right, or who writes the script. But we do know this. Somewhere, Magritte is watching. And he says, Ceci n'est pas une intelligence.
And I reply, Ceci n'est pas un homme. Outro music accordion fades into glitch beats.